By golly, it is.
All rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Bill,
Here.
Holly,
Here.
Chris Kuhn is not present. Lynn,
Here. Okay. Motion to waive the reading and adopt the pre-read minutes.
Motion.
I'll second. All in favor? Aye. All right, under old business tabled from last month, Ripley County Ordinance 2025-02, an ordinance to amend and add section 80.24 and 80.24F of the area zoning code of Ripley County, Indiana, 2006 as amended, and codified under chapter 156, section 156.404, and section 156.405 of the code of the ordinance of Ripley County, Indiana. Motion to approve or decline Ripley County Ordinance 2025-02.
So to give you some background on this, the county is going through and trying to revamp some of their building codes and zoning codes. What this does, from what I understand, is it doesn't necessarily change like the requirements for multifamily housing, other than make it a special exception, which is good for the town because you get notices of special exceptions. Prior, the procedure is that you just go in, you apply for your building permit. You probably wouldn't hear anything about it until they came to you for utilities or whatever. So I think they're just trying to create a procedure where if there's multifamily housing that the towns are put on notice. Everybody's put on notice through the special exception process. I can't speak for the commissioners when they pass that. That's just kind of what I gleaned from what I've heard. But I don't think it necessarily changes like any of the other requirements in there. So it's status quo except for making it a special exception. Because this is changing the zoning code and you guys are part of that area, the area zoning statutes, you have to approve it also because it's a change of the zoning part.
Correct. Okay.
So you can either approve it, you can reject it, you can send it back with amendments.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, number 5, Lynn, presenting ordinance 2025-3.
So this is an ordinance amending the connection to the water utility service. There was a question by one of the council members as to whether or not the town could deny like water service being turned on if for some reason the building codes weren't being complied with. This allows the town to be able to deny water service or terminate water service if they're not in compliance with federal, state, and local laws and ordinance pertaining to zoning or building. Any construction requiring a building permit must provide a copy of a legal building permit, a Homeland Security construction design release, if required, and an occupancy permit if required prior to water services being turned on. So this is just sort of like a backup safety provision to make sure that all of the state, local, county ordinances are being complied with. And I would recommend, because of the issues we have been having, I would recommend that you pass this under suspension of the rules. So because there's only 2 of you present here tonight, you still can pass it under suspension of the rules, but it has to be unanimous. So the first thing you would do is to vote on whether to proceed under suspension.
Very good. Any further questions? Oh,
No,
there you
I'll
go.
just make a motion.
All right, motion to approve ordinance 2025-3 under suspension of the rules. So, made the motion, I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So then next is the first reading. Again, it's water service may be denied or terminated to a new or existing customer if a customer is not in compliance with federal, state, or local laws. Ordinances and regulations pertaining to zoning or building code. Any construction requiring a building permit must provide a copy of a legal building permit, Homeland Security construction design release if required, and an occupancy permit if required prior to water services being turned on. So I just need a motion to approve on first reading.
Okay, motion to approve the first reading.
Motion.
I'll second. All in favor? Aye.
And next is the second reading. So again, it's water service may be denied basically if you're not in compliance with federal, state, local laws. And then certain documents are being requested, such as a legal building permit, homeland security, construction design release, if required, and an occupancy permit if required prior to water services being turned on. So a motion to approve on second reading.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All righty. Thank you, Lynn. Resolution 2025-6, declaring the 2014 Dodge Charger police car as surplus property, and it will be donated to the town of Sunman. I'm not sure if there's any further discussion on that. Motion to approve Resolution 2025-6.
Motion.
I'll second. All in favor? Aye. All right, number 7, Ripley County Economic Development 2026 interlocal agreement requesting a 12% contribution from the 2026 EDIT community disbursement. Motion to approve or decline 2026 interlocal agreement. I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All right, number 8, Commonwealth Project Memo Downtown Sidewalk Project. Is there anything that you would come up here would like to present, or do you want me just to
I can read it or.
go for it?
All right. So on the downtown sidewalk project, a certificate of substantial completion has been issued to Dave O'Meara contractor. As part of their certificate, a punch list was identified some deficient items. However, most of those are minor in scope. A final change order is being processed to reflect the final qualities and quantities of the project. Last month, Chris asked me if I knew it was going to be a deduct or add-on. We are still waiting on Jeff and O'Meara, but we feel confident it's going to be a deduction. So we did check. We are waiting on his final quantity, but we suspect it will be a deduction. On the 2025 Community Crossing Grant, we did have our pre-construction meeting on June 23rd, 2005 with the contractor Joe Hanneman, and they did provide all the necessary bonding, insurance certifications, and a notice to proceed was issued to the contractor. However, please note they will not be commencing construction until September due to some of their other construction commitments. I think I gave you the roads last time, so I won't read those to you again. Water improvements project, the Buckeye Street final restoration. O'Meara completed the valve box and the concrete color repairs on Buckeye Street on Wednesday, June 25th, 2025. And then lastly, on the water improvement PER, the town and Commonwealth were notified by IFA on the application that we submitted in April of 2025 that we are in the workable fundable range for fiscal year 2026. SRF will require that we notify them we want to move forward with a project by August 1st. So if given the authority by the town, we'll coordinate with your financial advisor to see what grant and funding package you may be able to afford.
Questions or comments for Commonwealth? Oh, yes, we actually do have a motion to approve Commonwealth's claim for $37,622.74 for final design, bidding assistance, and permit assistance contingent to Reynolds Foundation approval. If I can get a motion?
Motion.
Yep, I'll second. All in favor? Aye. All right, moving on, make a motion retroactive to June 30th to make wage changes to Peyton Ross and Ben Lavelle according to their apprenticeship program requirements for passing the first period. I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion to increase Rodney Stapleton's wage to gas operator.
Motion.
I'll second. All in favor? Aye. Motion to change wage percentages for Alex Eckstein from 50-50 sewer and water to 75-25 sewer and water.
Motion.
I'll second. All in favor? Aye. Motion retroactive to June 10th, 2025 to hire Colton Schmeltz for part-time school helper. I'll second. All in favor? Aye. All right. Call on the public, which we do not have any for, but we do have our Osgood Police Department head here.
So for the month of June, we responded to 50 calls for insurance, traffic stops, 5 ordinance, 5 ordinance calls or civil process calls, 8 citizen assists, 9 accidents, and 17 criminal calls with 1 pending case for arrest. In other business, I do have quotes from Axon for replacement cartridges for tasers and new batteries for tasers totaling $705. And I just want to get approval to use the funds to purchase those, as well as a quote from Radar Sign. We got the grant for the radar speed signs from Brown's Foundation. They're giving us $7,300 out of $8,200. So if we could get approval to use the funds to also cover that difference on those orders.
Does he need a motion for that?
I make a motion.
I'll second. All in favor? Is there any other business to be brought before the board this time?
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second the motion. Favor, aye.
You guys have a good evening.
Yeah, thank you. Safe travel.